Morning, camera. This is advanced flippity session in Wild Rose A and B.
So once again, guys, if you want to participate in the first activity, fill out this yellow and blue, click here, and if you want to give information to Rich guy here, fill out the next M here blank. He's a good guy. We got 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes.
That's fine. Me too. You ready?
I'll see that there's only first.
See? I think so.
Actually, that's good time.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, welcome to Advanced Flippity. Before we begin, please turn your cell phone ringer off. Fire regulations require that all session attendees have a chair. There's no standing in the aisles or sitting on the floor. We're doing a great job of that in here today. Please do not use chairs for your belongings if folks come in late and are looking for places to sit. If you're plugging in wall outlets, just keep in mind that people may be moving around during the session and your devices may be damaged if someone runs into the cord. Act 48 is available at P&C as we have offered in the past. You will not have codes. You'll be able to register your Act 48 online via the evaluation process, which is found in the Attendee Service Center on the P&C webpage. And now I present to you Dan Kaufman, Advanced Flippity.
All right. So as we get going here, guys, I've said it before, but this first link, it looks like 46 people have filled it out so far, which is fantastic. You don't have to, but if you want to, that'd be great. This is advancedflippity.net. Real quick, how many people have used Flippity in some capacity? Just so you know, if you haven't used Flippity, we're doing some spreadsheet work, which is like either really super exciting or not. And if you were in the last session, that means you're going to start P&C with 2 full hours of spreadsheets, which is like fantastic, right? So I was just testing some of this stuff out 30 minutes ago, and I had some issues. So as I always like tell my students, keep your expectations low, and you will always be happy. Right? If you're expecting to get a C and you get a B, that's great. Right? Keep those expectations low. I was able to work through them, so hopefully everything will go okay. This is the shortened URL. It is case sensitive. And that is a goo.gl/. Here we go. My name is Dan Kaufman. I am an instructional math coach for grades K through 12 at the Wilson School District right in Berks County. That's my daughter Lila. 2-hour delay today, why I'm missing, and my other daughter Piper, who's in preschool, and then my wife Quinn. She also had a 2-hour delay over at Boyertown School District. She teaches 3rd grade. All right, so my daughters are 6.5 and 4.5. They both just celebrated their half birthdays. Which is in the same month as my wife Quinn's, and she's like having none of it. Not taking over a month. If you need to reach out, email, Twitter. All right, these all direct link out to those spots. Please let me know. In case you don't know, this is the nickel tour of Flippity.net. Flippity.net was created by. So I get this a lot. And this is the problem I had before. If I do a hard refresh by holding Control and refreshing the screen, I hopefully get it to work then. All right, so that's the hiccup I was having before. So if you see that same error, try Control and press R on your keyboard. Flippity is created by an elementary teacher, I think somewhere up in like Massachusetts or something like that, that runs its entire foundation off of spreadsheets. So for example, I'll show you in this random name picker, what you end up doing is you can end up clicking on template. Oh, that's flashcards, that's okay. You hit make a copy, and what you'll do is you'll enter data into a spreadsheet, you'll publish the spreadsheet, and then you'll get the link. On some of the stuff I'm going to show you today, I've already done those pieces to kind of speed things up. All right, we okay with that? If you've used Flippity once, you probably know what I'm talking about. All right? I'm just going to close it. These are all the different things. I remember when I started looking at Flippity, I think there were 4 things. Maybe this flashcards, random name picker, quiz show, and something else. And now there's a plethora of activities, and we're only going to focus on a couple of them due to time constraints. All right? So first things first. We're going to look at the random name picker, and we're going to use images when we do those. So the random name picker has, I have some tabs open over here, looks something like this when you make a copy of that template. You have names, and then you have photos. That photo tab is new. If you used random name picker a long time ago, that column was never there. All right? What you can do, and I'm just going to put my name here, you can put URLs in that spot, and it'll show that. So, for example, if I search for the picture of a cat, and I right-click, and go to copy image address, if I paste that there for my photo, let's go get the link here. Nice, right? Oh, there I am, right there. All right, so now I'm a cat. You guys are nothing. All right, but I mean, like the picture's nothing. All right. Hopefully nobody has the same first name and the same last initial. What I did though, just so you're wondering how I got those in there, I did use import range to import that data from that form you filled out. That's how that's automatically being populated. All right. So that was using an image from Google Images. I could also create a Google drawing. Try and break the internet here. Let's see how this goes. When you create a Google drawing, if you publish that drawing to the web and grab the published URL, that can also serve as an image. All right? The nice thing about this piece with drawings, we'll see how this goes, is that you can put anything you want in there. So kids can create their own avatars. They can take screenshots of their face if they want and put that in there as well. Let's try this one differently. Drawings.google.com. Well, that works that way. All right, so I get into Google Drawings, and I'm just going to title this ASDF. By the way, little tidbit, anything you're working on today as a conference, I always put a little asterisk before the title. Does anybody know why? Alphabetically, symbols come before numbers, they come before letters, so at the end of the day, I just delete all the stuff that I made on the fly, and I want to get rid of it, all right? So here's my drawing. I can go to Insert, Image by Camera. Alright, and you could even do get crazy here. You can make like a Valentine's Day is coming up. A heart-shaped crown. Alright, I know. Publish to the web. Hit publish. Hit OK. Copy that URL, and let's go back into the spreadsheet and paste that URL here. Alright, now I'm going back to my Flippity random name picker, refreshing, and well, there I am. Maybe make that picture a little bit bigger. But you do have a lot of flexibility with Google Drawings. The kicker here is you have to use the published URL. You cannot use this one. Alright? Alright. And then the last piece, 2 pieces I'm going to show you then. Anybody use Bitmoji? For some of us? Alright, if you grab the extension for Bitmoji, this is like this is easy breezy. Here's your extension, and here it is. This is perfect. Right click on any of these Bitmojis and go to copy image address. Paste it in here. Let me refresh my Flippity. Hey, look. And there I am. So you can use your Bitmoji as well. All right, just right click on your Bitmoji picture and right click. All right. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make another column here. In here I put another sheet called images, and I have these Mario characters that I put them into Google Drawings and I published the drawing. So that's what these URLs are. These are all URLs of published drawings. Those numbers, I asked you guys for a number if you filled out the form in the beginning, right? You guys randomly selected a Mario character for yourself. Let's see who you selected. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to create another column here to the right. And I'm going to pull in those URLs, those numbers that you guys picked. That would be column C. That's not what I want. C to C. There we go. By the way, Control-Shift-E is the center line if that matters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a VLOOKUP. I'm going to do a vertical lookup. I'm going to say, hey, find this number 23 in this sheet and pull in the character next to it. Okay? That's what a VLOOKUP will do. So, over here, I'm going to say equals VLOOKUP. Search for this value. Where do you want me to search? I want you to search over here. And the last piece here is, out of those 3 columns, so it's going to search the first column for that number. And then notice I highlighted from A to C. It's now asking, out of those 3 columns, which one should I return? The first one, the second one, or the third one? Which one do we want? The third one, the URLs, right? And I always put a false in there. A false will look for an exact match. All right? Oh, sorry, I went too fast. So this fill down handle will copy that formula all the way down. If you double click on it, it'll do it automatically for you. All right? Boom, boom. Not sure what's going on there. I'm overwriting that. There we go. Okay, now let's go see what you guys picked. All right. Oh, Jenny, you picked Birdo. All right, that's Birdo right there. Some of you got the mushroom. I don't know. Everybody got the question box. Some of these aren't super exciting. Nobody picked the coin. It's a good. The coin's the most boring one, I think. There. So you can also pull in images that way. Right? The nice thing is I control the image. What I'm going to give you guys is I'm going to give you editing rights to the spreadsheet, and I'll give you about a minute, and you guys can maybe play around with your own little avatar next to your name. All right? This is either going to really mess up, and if it does, we're just going to close out the tab, or it might go well. All right. So in this sheet, I'm going to share. Anyone with the link can edit. Some of you already started doing that. You're breaking the rules here. All right? But, on a side note, for kids, if I highlight column A, I can protect this range. So you guys can't edit it. I can also protect, I've seen people delete the word photo here. If you delete the word photo, it won't work. So I'm not going to protect it. I'm going to trust you guys. All right? Go ahead. I'm going to delete these out of here. If you guys want, put in your own URL. I will give you 1 minute. Go. If you don't have if you can't edit it, that's okay. Just talk to your partner. Maybe they get it in there. But I saw some people dabbling before. seconds. 5 seconds. Now, I'm expecting nothing but PG material there, right? Nothing from an Austin Powers movie, all right? Or nothing that would get you in trouble politically if you were to run for office. And hopefully someone doesn't have the same first name and last initial. Which is weird, because there's a Kelly K in here. My sister's name is Kelly Kaufman. Alright, let's take a look. What does this look like? See? Control R. And it worked. Alright, so there we go. Thank you guys if you filled it out. Alright, are we done? Or I'll refresh this one more time so you can see your avatar up there. I'll try to. It's not letting me. Alright. Any questions about random name picker? Make it a little bit more personalized. Alright, get some tab management under control. If you have tabs open, Control W to close out those tabs. I'm locking you guys out of here too. Closing tabs. I don't need this anymore. Thank you for filling that out if you filled it out. Here we go. Moving on. Check boxes with flashcards. If you've ever done flashcards, how many people have done the flashcards before? There's a front and a back. And in the spreadsheet, there's a column A and a column B. You put what you want on the front, and then you put what you want on the back. So you could do 5 times 4, and on the back it could say 20. All right? That's how the flashcards work. What I'm going to do is use checkboxes to pull those flashcards in. So suppose you have a sheet that has all the states and all the capitals, but you're only studying New England. You can put checkboxes on just the states you want to study, and those flashcards are automatically populated. That way you don't have to have another spreadsheet for all these different areas that you want to study. So this is what, if you want to play along, you can just watch me do this, or you can follow along with me. If you want to play along, click on Make a Copy. And I'll try and go slow. If I go too fast, just say, hey Dan, could you repeat that? I set this sheet up already for you guys. I deleted, well, whenever you make copies of Flippy spreadsheets, they already have data in there. I deleted all that out of here, so we're working with a clean slate. And you'll notice that I added a sheet down at the bottom called States. I've had issues with Flippity when I added sheets in the front, put them all the way to the right to create a new one. All right? Are you ready to go? Is everyone able to make a copy if you're playing along?
It's super slow.
Didn't make a copy yet?
No.
No? Is everybody else still waiting? Oh, you're waiting? All right. What we'll end up doing is we're going to put checkboxes in this column. So I'm going to highlight. I'm going to try and go slow here, so hopefully it'll make a copy. I'm going to highlight from A2 down to the end of this list, which is Wyoming. All right. So I have these cells highlighted. I'm going to put checkboxes in there. There's 2 ways you can do checkboxes. I'll show you the one I've been using. When you highlight that column, go up to Data, Data Validation, and then just for the criteria, pick checkbox. It's the last option there. And this will just put a checkbox in that column. So once again, highlight the data, the blank cell, go up to Data, Data Validation, and hit the checkbox. And I'm just going to check, let's just check Pennsylvania, that's fine. It doesn't matter what you check. And then we'll also do New Jersey and New York. All right. On the demo, I want to filter those states and capitals by if the checkbox is checked, and that's it. So what function are we going to use? Filter, all right? Equals, I'm in A3 right now. Filter, and it's asking me, what range of data do you want me to filter? Yeah?
Can you go back one step? Like, when you look at the checkbox and the data validation?
Yeah. So I highlighted A2 to A51.
Okay.
Then I went up to data, data validation, and there's a drop down here. The last option is checkbox. You got that?
Yeah.
And I put checkboxes there?
It inserted checkbox.
Yeah, it inserted checkboxes into that column.
Yeah.
I'll come back in a second, okay? Okay. And then I just checked a couple of these.
Are we just randomly?
Yeah, randomly
Picking the
check.
field?
Because
Okay.
if you do a filter with nothing checked, nothing's going to appear, so you don't know if your filter's working. All right, great. All right, glad I can help. So we're going to do equals filter, and it's asking me in this filter.
Where is this at again now? We left from the states tab to the demo tab.
Yep, now I'm in the demos tab. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm going to do equals filter, and it's asking me, what range of data do you want me to filter? What do we want to pull into here, guys? The ones that were checked. It's the states and the capitals that have a checkbox next to them. So, I'm going to go down to my states tab, and I'm going to select columns B and C. That way it pulls both of those over. All right, so once again, equals filter. Left parenthesis, and I'm going to select columns B and C. Comma. Now it's saying, on what condition? When do we want to filter these? When the checkbox is checked. So, there's two ways to do this. I'm going to click column A, and by default, you could stop there, but I'm going to put equals true. That means it's checked. Okay? And then close your parenthesis. And press enter.
Can you show that one more time?
You got it. You want me to just zoom in on the formula?
Okay.
So filter columns B and C when column A is true. And now go through that last sheet and then check and uncheck boxes and see what happens. So now instead of having 5 different spreadsheets, because you're going to study 5 different areas of the United States, you can have one and turn certain values on and off. If you teach 3rd grade, you can put multiplication tables in there, and if you want to just study the 6, 7, and 8s, you can just do the 6, 7, and 8s. Why would you want to study the 6, 7, and 8s? Because that's probably what gives me the most practice with. Okay? Are we good? Any questions? All right. I did put in here, I did one with math facts. This is a little bit more robust, but in the math facts, when you guys can just make copies of these, I'm back on slide 5. I did all these different math facts for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and based on what you pick here, suppose you want to do multiplication, it will only pull in the checkbox ones for multiplication. All right?
So for clarification purposes, you're checking them because you know them, you don't know them?
No, so as I'm the teacher, right?
Okay.
I'm saying, hey guys, today we're going to study bordering states. So I'm just going to click on New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Delaware, Ohio, and those are the only things that are going to appear when I go to publish this to the web. And then publish. All right. When I go to show these flashcards, because I have them linked on my web page or whatever, when kids click on it, they're only going to see New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. Now, I'm like, hey guys, we're expanding here. I need you to know those ones, but I also need you to know Nebraska as well. Now, when they come to the flashcards, Nebraska will also be on the list. So you can start adding more and more pieces without having to create a whole other flashcard spreadsheet. Yeah?
So once that's set up, if you make any changes to the checkboxes, then it automatically updates.
Yep. So I can click all of these. I don't have to republish it anymore.
Right.
Because it's basically, what does this say? If this is pulling in, because I pulled in an entire column, then when I go back over to here and hit refresh, I got them all in there. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you, in the math class one, if I said false for any of the classes, would all of them be included then?
So, are you talking about in here if you did what?
If I make the formula where it says
Equals true.
equals true, what happens if I make it false?
If you make, well, that's a great question. Let's just find out. I'm going to make this false for the state capitals, okay? It pulled in all the ones that I didn't select. So that might be easier, depending on how you're working, but yeah, false would be the unselected ones. All right. Good question. Oh, I like that. I'm changing it back to true, though, because in 2 weeks I won't know why I did that. We're okay? All right. Tab management. I'm closing windows. I also did, I'll show you real quick, I also did phonics. And with the phonics, anybody teach phonics? Alright, just be careful. With the phonics, I turned the audio off on the front and turned it on the back. So when the kids hear the slide, let's see if we can get this to work.
Curious.
So they don't hear it on the front, emptiness,
Emptiness.
then they would hear it on the back. Okay. Yeah.
You got images to these with this formula or no?
Yes. Yes, you just use the image URL. With the formula,
I mean, you put the column next to it to add the image, or do you link it right?
you would put the image right in here. So if I wanted to put an image in this one, I would just put the image in this right here. You want to try it real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can do it. You okay with my Bitmoji? Let's try it. I'm thinking it'd work. All right, so now that says that, right?
Can you do the word though too? Like, can it be a word image?
Yeah. Any image would, as long as it's web-based, as long as it's published to the web.
Yeah. Like if I'm making a vocabulary flashcard, I want to see a word in the image, or.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
That didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work.
Okay.
I think when you make a copy of the template, it'll show you that you might have to include some kind of tag like IMG in the beginning of it to denote that it is an image. All right? When you make a copy of the original flashcards, it shows examples of them. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, okay? All right. Tab management. Anything else? All right. These ones that I have listed here for countries and capitals, phonics, and math facts, take them and adapt them to what you need. There's a lot going on in those, but kind of pick them apart and fit them to whatever you need. You don't have to reinvent the wheel on those. All of these slides I do have a tutorial at the top right here on how to do them as well. Okay, student-generated Mad Libs. Has anybody done the Mad Libs before? All right, perfect. When you do Mad Libs in Flippity, this is what it looks like when you get the spreadsheet. You get the story title going across in row 2, and then you get the stories going across in row 3. And I want you to look. You guys see the brackets? Those are your placeholders for your nouns, your verbs, adverbs, numbers, animals, counts, whatever it is. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Google form and populate this field automatically. Okay? So I'm going to delete all this data. I don't want it. Get out of there. That's the stuff that he puts in there automatically, so you can see it, what it looks like. And here, oops, I have a Google form, a simple Google form, that asks for title and story. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct the submissions to this form to that spreadsheet. So, under responses, I'm going to click on the spreadsheet tab, and I'm going to select an existing spreadsheet. And I'm going to select this copy to flippity.net. Hopefully it shows up first here. Make sure I get the right one here. Selecting existing sheet. Then I'll have you guys, I'll link this form. I'll have you guys fill out the form, and then you guys can create your own stories, okay? I think that's it. Okay, so now, in this same spreadsheet that I was just working on, you see now that this form responses 1 tab is created at the bottom? I'm going to move that to the right. And what I want you guys to do is this. I want you to submit a Madlibs. Okay? So on my presentation, please go to slide 6. Refresh it. All right? And submit a story. And don't forget, make it simple. Put your story in brackets. Okay, so for example, I might do my title is Dan's Drive. Dan drove, and that's a number, miles per hour on his way to B and C. And then hit submit. All right, to make it simple, and then you'll see it start to come into here. And then I'll show you how to get those into our Flippity. All right, so take 30 seconds to do that. Once again, keep them PG. All right. Once again, that was on slide 6. Just refresh your screen if you want to click that way. Okay, you guys can keep submitting, but if you notice the problem I have here, spreadsheet data from a Google form comes in columns. Column A and column B, or well, in this case, column B and column C. What has to happen to that data if I want to get it into the Madlibs? I have to turn it. What's that function? Transpose. Okay? So, in this demo tab, I'm just going to use the function, and this is very, very straightforward. Equals transpose. Try and zoom in one more time here. Equals transpose. And it's asking me, what data do you want me to turn? It's very straightforward. It is this data right here. Close your parenthesis and press enter. And there are all of our stories. All right. When I click on get the link, come on. Now, do you guys see any problems with this with students if you had this automatically happening? What's that? Yeah. Come on. I think we're stressing that lib. Stretching it out. Yeah, I had it published. Nothing's changed here. Come on. Yes, so you run into problems with kids doing whatever they want, right? Putting whatever information in there. So this is the problem I was having before with Flippity. Didn't change anything, right? What you can do, and I'll try and do this real quick. If you want to kind of filter these, you can say, let me try one more time here, see if we can get this to work. No. All right. What you can do though, is you can put an X next to that next column. I don't know why this should be working. You can put an X here and say, you know what? Let me do this. If I put an X here, it means I've approved those stories. Okay. And now in the demo sheet, what I'm going to do is inside of this transpose, I'm going to say, you know what? Let's filter first. Let's filter this data. Let's filter this data when this column equals X. All right. So I set up a filter just like before, only when it equals X. And then I'm going to say, you know what, let's transpose that as well. All right, and now it should only show those cells that when I put an X in that column. All right, so you could set this up and filter those results based on X's. All right. Once again, sorry, I don't know why that's not working. Get out of there. Close your tabs. So frustrating. All right. It'll work in like 20 minutes. All right, the last one I think I have for you guys. Has anybody ever used match index before? Or VLOOKUPs? VLOOKUPs? Match index are supposed to be like the next step of VLOOKUPs. All right? If you do the differentiated spelling lists, so this is one where you guys can play along and make a copy. Once again, on slide 7. When you do the spelling list template with kids, it's designed so that kids' names go here, so Dan, Quinn, Lila, Piper, and you would give them each a spelling list that they could select from. You could also put in the results, your teacher email address, and when the kids take the quiz online, you'll get an email saying how they scored. All right? I'm going to show you how you can do differentiated lists or lists throughout the year, so you can say, hey, all of you today, I want you working on list 1. And then next week I want you working on list 2. All right? A little bit of front-end work setting this up, but it makes your life a whole lot easier. So what I did here on this sheet, if anyone else is working along with me, I made another tab down here called lists. And I put these different lists in that sheet. And you can see, you guys know you can use emojis? All right, you can also title Google Docs with emojis. All right? I just used emojis for the titles of these lists. So today we're all going to work on the spy guy list, and then tomorrow we'll work on the coffee cup. All right? What we're going to do is we're going to create drop-down menus. What I'd like you to do is highlight all of B2 and to the right. So we're going to highlight all of these cells. So if you're following along, I'm going to press Control-Shift and the right arrow and highlight that entire row all the way across. All right, once again, if you highlight B2, Control-Shift and the right arrow, and I highlight it all the way across, and I'm going to create a drop-down menu. This is in the same box, the same place we got checkboxes. Go to data, data validation, and choose a list from a range. We want those to be the different list titles, which were just the emojis. So I'm going to click on this little box right here. I'm going to say, you know what? Pick my drop-down list from this list tab. From the spy guy to the rates. All right, I'll do that again. Highlight your entire B2 row, from B2 all the way over, and go to data, data validation. Click on the select from a range, and then pick your emojis. And then hit OK. And save. Right. And now you could pick spy guy. You could pick coffee cup. You could pick pizza. You could pick eggplant. And whatever one I pick, I want that list to change based off of what I picked. Keep in mind, these could be called like short A or whatever kind of spelling list you are studying, okay? What I need to happen, though, is when I pick the spy guy, I need this list to appear. You can do this with an H lookup. It's very cumbersome. What we're going to do is something called index match. So the first piece here, I'm in column B4. I'm going to do equals match. Match finds where something exists somewhere else. It gives you the position of that. So I'm going to search for this spy guy. Comma. Where do you want me to search for it? I'm going to go down to the list tab. And I'm going to select my lists.
Can you zoom in on that?
Yep. So it's saying find the spy guy and then comma. Well, where do you want me to find it? I want you to find it in that other sheet in the list, the range of lists I have there. The last piece is I'm going to put a 0 there. 0 means find an exact match. And then press enter. And that's not exciting at all. I know. But now if I picked teacup, it says the number 2 there. All right. Once again, that's the function. Index is a function that allows you to pull a range of data from another sheet into your sheet. We're going to combine the two of them. I'm going to show you how index works. I actually just learned this on Saturday. So in B5, I'm going to do equals index, left parenthesis, and I'm going to select all of my words and the other sheet. I'm going to select a bigger range than that just so I have a little bit of working room. So index, and I'm going to select all of this. I went down a little further just in case I decide to add some rows there. All right, that's what my function looks like. And when I press comma, it's asking me for which row offset do I want and which column offset do I want. I don't fully understand what they're asking for, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put 0 and 0. I work by like examples and tweaking examples, so I'm going to put 0, 0 in there and see what happens. And press enter. When I did that function, it brought in every column and every row of that field that I highlighted. But I don't want it to do that. Look what happens if I just change this 0 to a 1. And this is row. It brings in the entire first row of that data I selected. What do you think will happen if I change this back to a 0 and change column to a 1? It'll bring in the first column. What would happen if let me change this back to SPY guy. What would happen if I change this from a 1 to a 2? It'll bring in the second column, right? Between chicken and joy, between chicken and joy. What do I want this number 2 to be? I want it to be this function that's in B4, right? So I am just going to copy this, and instead of having this number 2 here, I want that entire function, so I'm going to paste it. So that way, it pulls in whatever column I selected. All right. I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to copy this match function. Highlight it, press Control-C, go back to my index function, and I'm going to replace the number 2 with that match function. Press Enter. And now, I'm actually just going to cut this entire formula and move it up one. And now there's my list. So when I pick SPY guy, I get that list. But if I hit coffee cup, I get the coffee cup list. If I hit pizza, I get the pizza list. And it changes automatically because I've embedded this match piece inside of the index function.
Can you see what from that?
You got it.
Formula?
You get it? Okay, yeah, no problem. All right, now, I want to copy this over to the right. If anyone knows about the fill handle, what's going to happen when I copy that formula over to the right? All the formulas are going to adjust. So when I move this fill handle to the right, this is going to say B2 to J16. They're going to shift over. I don't want it to do that. I want it to be fixed on that range. So what do we use? Dollar symbols, right? I call them absolutes. So in this formula, I'm going to say, you know what? Don't change this range. Keep it the same. I'm going to put dollar signs in there. Technically, I don't need it for the number, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Dollar signs say, when I use this fill handle, always keep to this range of A2 to I16. Moving over in my formula. For the match was B2. That was the SPY guy. Do I want that to jump to the next column when I move it over? Yeah, I do. I'm going to leave that the same. It'll copy from B2 to C2 to D2. And then this list, I'm going to lock this in as well using dollar signs. Press Enter. And then I should be able to just drag this over. And there are my 4 lists. When I go to get the link, publish to the web, kids can now study pizza, cup, eggplant. Let me change this back to the SPY guy. And there's the SPY guy. So they can click on SPY guy, and they can practice their words.
Spell, 8, he ate the apple, 8. Good. Spell, built.
What was it? Built? Built? I don't know.
Oops. Built, B, U, I.
Alright, so that's how you can do differentiated lists. You can build these lists out further and further and further. The nice thing is, if you want, if you do spelling lists, you're done for the year. Use this one spreadsheet and slowly add in more lists as you go further throughout the year. So you're not making a different splittity every time. Alright? Any questions on differentiated spelling lists? I have this worked out completely right here if you want to make a copy of it. Alright. And the last thing, I love time for this. Alright. The last thing I'm going to do is show you how to make dynamic math flashcards. This one's a quick and easy one. I'm going to go to flippity.net. And I'm going to go back to my flashcards and make a copy of the template. And this is I'm going to show you how to make randomized flashcards. So flippity.net, make a copy of the template of the flashcards, which is the first one there. We'll leave it at that, guys. 10 minutes away from lunch. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. My information's on that first slide there. All right. If you want to stick around, you can stick around. But I don't know, if you want to go for lunch, that's fine as well. I'll show you how to do this one real quick. But guys, enjoy your PDC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Where's the map?
What's that?
I want to see this.
Okay.
I can't get it open on mine, so I'm...
Yeah. All right, I'll show you real quick. So I made the flashcards, and I made another sheet. I just added another sheet, and I moved it all the way to the right.
Okay.
I'm going to make a column A, I'm going to do fact family.
Okay.
And B, I'm going to do min, and then I'm going to do max.
Okay.
So what do you want to work on?
Addition.
Well, let's do
fives.
Let's do multiplication. Fives.
Yeah.
And let's do from 0 up to 6 for now.
Okay.
So we're just starting. In my demo sheet, I'm going to add 2 columns to the right here, and I'm going to pull in those values from that sheet.
Okay.
So insert a column to the right. Do that again. So in this sheet, I'm going to say this is equal to this value is 5. Right? That way, if I want to practice my 6s, I can easily change it to my 6s. This one is going to say equals rand between. Pick a random number between these 2 values. Inclusive.
Okay.
Oops. Rand between. Sorry. Can't do it like that. Rand between this guy and comma that guy. So if I refresh this, it's just going to keep giving me random numbers.
Okay.
Right. The front of the flashcard is going to say equals this value. I'm going to zoom in here. Ampersand times ampersand. That's how you put text with values. And an X isn't a multiplication symbol, but it's good enough for today. That and times that. That's 3, that random number, right? So there's my front of my flashcard. Right. If I press Control, if I refresh this, I keep getting different flashcards. What do I want in column B? This times this. That gets me back.
Ah.
Okay.
So is that going to be on here? You're going to, or can I email you in 5 days when I'm trying to figure it out?
I have a link here to a YouTube video. But now, if I want to copy this down, I want these to be. I want these to stay put. I don't want these to change. I'm always going to use E3
Okay.
and F3. And then for this one, the same thing. Oh wait, no.
You make that a little bigger.
Yeah, I tried.
Alright.
Sorry, I don't want this to be like this. Let me undo that. Okay. I want to copy this down, right? To make a whole bunch of flashcards. So I'm going to say, you know what, I always want you to be picking the number 5 from here. So always pick that number 5. So I'm going to use the absolutes. And I'm always going to say pick a random number between those 2 values. So I'm going to use absolutes in here as well. That's just saying always pull from those that other sheet. Right, now when I copy this down, let's say to here, I'm always getting 5s, and I'm always getting a random number. Now, for my function, I want these to both copy down with columns E and F. So I'm just going to pull these down, and there are my problems that always line up. 5 times 4 equals 20, right, which is 5 and 4. The nice thing about this is if I go to the sheet, I want to practice the 8s today, but I want to practice them from 5 to 9. Those are the good ones. I always have 8s and 5s to 9s. Publish the spreadsheet, put it on your web page, and say, hey kids, we're only practicing our 8s today from 5 to 9, and then you can kind of change up practice for them. That video on there goes through the same process in about 6 minutes.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And you can do addition, subtraction as well. Subtraction gets a little bit tricky though because you need your min and your max needs to be less than your minuend, whichever one that first one is.
I got you. Right. Yeah.
Minuend's the first one? Okay. That gets a little bit tricky to work out.
Yeah, but trying to find flashcards that are tailored to what you want.
Here, and also, on here I put this link to SC Math.
Yeah.
This is my web page. I run this with Chris McCaffrey, but I have a bunch of digital flashcards here that are already made up.
Oh, awesome.
All right, that link's there.
Yeah, I just found something this year, and I really like it. I'm a special ed teacher.
Thanks, Dan.
Absolutely.
Take care.
And I like it because I can pull it in from different subjects rather quickly.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's a learning curve, I think.
There is, but I can pull stuff in, like I said, rather quickly and post it up there for the kids, and it gives them some options to do different stuff instead of just always flashcards or. When they've done Kahoot, I teach middle school with 5 different teachers.
Yeah.
It's not fun anymore.
All right, we'll reach